Today I'm going to cover installation and setup of Rox file manager in TinyCore. You'll notice on my screen that I actually have a JWM window manager installed. It'll make it easier for me to use my keyboard and also to present this video. So the first thing we want to do is install three programs, obviously Rox-filer, bash, and a wmctrl window manager control app. So we'll show briefly, and we'll go to another virtual screen here, and we'll go ahead and fire up the apps. And here you can go ahead and, for example, we want to Rox, and it's that Rox-filer TCZ. I've already installed bash and Rox-filer and the wmctrl. So let's go ahead and take a brief look at the Rox-filer. And when you first open up a Rox-filer, it's going to appear like this. What we want to try to do is place a Rox-filer, more than one Rox-filer, one here, and another one here. That way it would be much easier to go ahead and copy or move files back and forth. So the basic setup that we want to do with a default Rox-filer is go ahead and minus key, it'll make it smaller, and then also Control-H will bring up the hidden files. To be able to follow this video easier, you can go ahead and right click and then go to options, and then I would recommend that you go ahead and directories come first, so you can see how it changes, so it'll make it easier for you to follow. And then don't worry, your Rox may look a little different than mine. Mine, I got it set up so I use it every day. So display, you want to try to get inherit options from, so different Rox will look similarly if you just click that, and icon view is fine, and I prefer small icons. And then tools, I prefer that there's no toolbar here, so I can go ahead and go to toolbar here, and pretty much everything, let's see, I think that pretty much everything can stay the same. Action, I prefer everything just be clicked for my own use. And then Xterm, I think the default is A term rather than Xterm console, so we'll go ahead and change that to A term. Actually, I prefer a GNOME terminal, but for this presentation, we'll go with A term. And then, okay. So I think that this makes a presentation easier. So the first thing we want to do is try to put at least one major Rox here on the right upper quadrant. So to do that, what you can do is just place it just about where you want it, and then right click and go to display and go all the way down to save current display settings, and you already should have a position and size already clicked, and we want to just go ahead and OK. And then at this point, to memorize the position is, for example, we'll go ahead and give it a Control-1. Okay. So now let's say we want to download things, and we want to be able to get quickly to downloads folder. So we'll go ahead and click, and then let's say we want to downloads folder here, since we're going to have the one major root folder here. So we'll go ahead and click here, and then we'll go to display again, go to save current settings, and OK, and then we'll go ahead and give it a click, control 2 here, and let's see what happens if I just enter 1, press 1, you'll go to 1 where we memorize. So it may not be exactly where we want it, but general direction, and then we'll go to 2 again where the download folder is. So you can see that it does change. So it gives you some idea of how this works. Now, what I want to show you is that I mount, let's see, we'll cancel this, and MNT tools. Okay, so recently I made a video on how to auto mount a partition. So this is auto mounted, and this is where I have music files and pictures and so on. So this is SDA2. It'd be nice to have another separate Rox-filer open automatically with the SDA2, and we can do that easily just clicking one of these, and then we'll go to MNT and mount, MNT and SDA2, so right there. And rather than having the screen up here, we want it out of the way. So we'll just place it here, and we'll give it a similar, we'll go to right click, display, and then save current display settings, and then we'll say OK, and let's give it a control 4, for example. Okay, so control 4, okay. So let's see what happens if I just click 1. So it goes generally back to the root folder. So we'll see 2 as we already programmed is downloads, and then we'll go to 4 this time. So it works generally pretty well. So go ahead and fire up a terminal, and then we're gonna give it a command of rox. So you open up a root folder, and then downloads folder, and then store partition, and then we'll go ahead and exit this the terminal window itself. And let's see what happens if I click. So you can see that it's pretty nifty that there is a file here, and there's a downloads, and there's a store. So earlier we installed bash and wmctrl, and we'll take a look at the script that's going to help us further with the automatic opening of the Rox folders. So we'll take a look at the from the root folder. We'll take a look at local folder and bin, and then within it there is a rox.sh a script that I made, and this is actually the script that should be attributed to a Puppet Linux forum where I got the script. So what we want to do is take a look inside of it. So we'll go ahead and we can go ahead and fire up the gedit, and then .local bin and rox.sh. And when we take a look at the script itself, it says give it a short rest, and then we're using the wmctrl now. What it essentially is saying is to go ahead and go to virtual screen number 2 actually. Although wmctrl says 1, wmctrl refers the first display screen as the 0. So when it gives 1, it's going to actually open up in 2. We'll see it demonstrated soon. So it's also saying that we're going to work with the Rox file manager, and it says to open Rox root folder, downloads, and then store a partition as we already mentioned a short time ago. So we'll see what happens if we go ahead and activate this. So we'll go ahead and we can do it several ways. We can just activate it here. You can see that we're actually on a third virtual screen, and we've instructed through wmctrl to open here. So let's just keep an eye on the second virtual screen, and we'll give it a... So you can see that it's actually changed to a second virtual screen, and there are 3 Rox file managers open. So it's Rox file manager. It's just a matter of just grabbing a file and then moving it. So we'll go ahead and let's say we'll move it to a downloads folder. So likewise from downloads folder back to a root folder. So you can do that with folders or files or whatever from down here to so you get a rough idea. So we can go ahead and move the copy the MP3 file folder, for example. To further automate the process of opening up different Rox file manager, let's take another look at the script in that same folder of root .local /bin. So there is a close-all.sh which I have opened here. What this particular script does is shuts down all the applications that are open, but it also do it safely in a sense that if there is for example, browser downloading a file, that it'll stop and give you a chance to go ahead and terminate it or wait until it saves it. So this is a safe way to go ahead and close all the open applications. So we'll go ahead and take a look at how to utilize this particular. Actually, we can just, at this time, just click it and see if it closes all this application. So we'll go ahead and click, and it does indeed. Okay, so how can we use this to go ahead and clean up all the opened applications in the background and also start the Rox in a virtual screen too? So as I mentioned earlier, I'm running a JWM window manager, as you see here. So to configure a keyboard shortcut to scripts, we can go ahead and open up jwm-rc.keys, which I already have it open. So what the command that I added is a key mask Alt key and X. Whenever I push in, I enter the Alt and X at the same time, it closes all the applications that's running in the background and all the virtual screens, and it also starts rox.sh, which is which will start 3 Rox files on the here. So let me just go ahead and go to another desktop, and we'll go ahead and enter altx, and let's see what happens. So let's just, for completeness sake, let's just have it open here, and then we'll have another Rox open here. So, and then we'll go ahead and open up another Rox there, and then we'll go back to screen 4 where we were, and then here I'm gonna just simply enter altx, and then let's see what happened, what changes are made here. So ALTX, here it goes. So it closes all the applications elsewhere, and it goes to the virtual screen 2, where you have the Rox file managers open. So I find this key very helpful when I'm working for a while in that in this environment. So I hope this is helpful to you. Thanks.